much like your test tomorrow, except I changed the name and I changed the numbers, okay? But the format is the same. All right, so looks like I need a tape diagram, don't I? You're welcome for the tape diagrams.
Thank you.
All right, it says, on Sunday, Greg bought 5 3/4 kilograms of plant food. He used 2 1/8 kilograms on his strawberry plants, and he used 15/16 kilograms for his tomato plants. How many kilograms of plant food did Greg have left? Write one or more equations to show how you reached your answer. Okay, so this is one equation. And it's one of those, repeat after me, questions. Do you remember what I had you repeat after me yesterday?
Blank plus blank. Total?
Okay, so let's get the total on there. What is it? 5 3/4 kilograms. Okay. And Abigail's kind of right. It's blank plus blank, and then you subtract it from blank. But what did I have you repeat after me?
Oh, the strawberry plants minus tomato.
You're close. I said add them together and subtract from the whole. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, repeat it. Add them together, subtract from the whole. Now, Jesus used total in place of the word whole. Will it still work? Yeah, add them together and subtract from the total. It's the same thing. So he used 2 1/8 on his strawberry plants and 15/16 on his tomato plants. And the question is asking, how much plant food does he have left? Okay? Is this a two-step problem?
Yes.
So let's draw a line.
Let's add.
Let's draw a line so that we'll save room for the second part. So we're going to add, then subtract. Okay? What am I adding together?
1/8 plus 15/16.
Okay. So write that down. Oh my goodness. And 3 equal signs. Okay, now I know you're a step ahead of me, aren't you? Okay. So, what number do I need to keep here? Good. So 1/8 plus 15/16. You want to get the door, George, here? I'm going to pull a stick here. Dara, what do you think the denominator should be? Because I don't really want to multiply 8 times 16.
8.
Yes? Okay, just a minute. I'm going to give you a hint, Dara. The denominator's already up there. 16. Very good. Okay, I know a bunch of you knew it. So how do I know 16 will work, Cadence?
Oh, because 8, and then
8 divides into 16 evenly, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, so now when I multiply, I've got to really think here. So Dora, help me out. 8 times what? 8 times 2. 16 times. So 2 plus 15.
17.
Okay, now here's the deal. Kids do this every year. They write their answer like this.
no.
I'm going to pull a stick. Emily, what did that child do wrong?
We have to do it as mixed number.
We have to make 17/16 a mixed number. Okay? So instead, Emily, what do I need to write?
2 plus a whole plus 1/6 equals 8. 18.
Okay, so 2 plus 1 whole plus 1/16. So it's going to be 2 plus 1
3.
and 1/16. Okay, is that my answer? Do I circle it?
No.
That's only my
That's on
answer
here.
for here, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so what do I do next? For mean.
You do 3 and 1/16.
Okay, so but you've got to do it carefully because it's a subtraction problem. So which one is larger?
5 and 3/4.
I'm talking to Fermi. Okay, so that one has to be written down first. 5 3/4 minus 3 and 1/16. Add together, subtract from the total. Okay, Fermin, what will I do what will I do in my head before I write this down? 5 minus 3. So that's going to be 2 plus make sure you subtract in the middle. Okay, so my common denominator, Elkin, what do you think it is?
16.
You're right. Very similar, isn't it?
Yes.
On the actual test, the number's 12. So 4 times something equals 16.
4.
Whoops. So 3 times 4 equals
12.
12. So 12 minus 1/16 equals 11 sixteenths. Is that an improper fraction?
No.
No, so I just get to keep it. Okay, so my answer here, and we're going to answer with a sentence.
What do you have to
How many kilograms of plant food did Greg have left? That's my question. So Greg had 2 and 11/16 kilograms of plant food left.
Do you have to write down the test?
Yes. Now I want you to do some underlining because remember how your answer from one problem is needed for the problem below it?
Yeah.
That's going to happen several times. So that's the main reason why I want you to write a sentence, okay? So we know plant food, this is how much we have left, okay? Let's go down to the next problem. Okay, it says Greg wants to feed his strawberry plants 2 more times and his tomato plants 1 more time. He will use the same amounts of plant food as before. How much plant food will he need? Does he have enough left to do so? Explain your answer using words, pictures, or numbers. Okay, so I'm going to get a tape diagram on here. And let's talk about what we need. Do we have a total amount of plant food left?
Yes.
What is it?
2 and 11/16.
Okay. And he wants to feed his strawberry plants 2 more times and his tomato plants 1 more time. So set it up like this. Trust me. All right, so how much did he originally feed his strawberry plants? 2 and 1/8, is that right? 2 and 1/8. So that goes on both of these. And then his tomato plants was 15/16. Okay, so how am I going to solve this problem? It says, how much plant food will he need? So that's one question. And does he have enough left?
Oh, subtract.
So when it says how much will he need,
We add.
we add, okay? Is there any of this I can add in my head before I write it down?
Yes, there's a whole number.
Okay, so that's going to be 4 and,
2 8.
now don't simplify it. Because I'm already looking ahead, I'm gonna add it to 16ths, okay? So, go ahead and write down your problem, 4 and 2/8 plus 15/16. So 2/8. What's my common denominator? Vaughn. Looks kind of familiar.
Yeah.
16, yeah. So your test, remember I said you'll keep using 12. So 8 times what, Vaughn, equals 16?
2.
Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4. And 16 times 1. So I've got 15 plus 4.
19.
So 19/16. I'm going to pull a stick. Beverly, what do I need to do now? So 19/16 needs to be a mixed number. Good job. So 4 plus 1 whole plus, what's left? 3/16. So it gives me 4 plus 1, 5 and,
3.
okay. Now guess what? That's your answer. Because it doesn't say how much more does he need. Does it? And so I just get to answer both questions in one sentence. The questions are, how much plant food will he need? And does he have enough left? So how much plant food will he need?
5 and 3/16.
Okay, so his name is Greg. Greg will need 5 and 3/16 kilograms of plant food. Now you can do it two ways. You could write another sentence, he does not have enough plant food left. Or you could write, and he does not have enough left. Because he only has how much? 2 and 11/16. Okay, so I'm going to put, and he does not, actually I'm going to put, does not have enough left. And because it doesn't say how much more does he need, we don't have to do a subtraction problem. So that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's take a look at the back. Am I going too fast?
No.
All right. So the back is 3 problems that go together. It's still about the strawberries and tomatoes. The name's been changed to Jack this time. The only thing I did was I changed the numbers. I did not change the question. Okay? Oh, and I changed the name. So I'm going to need some tape diagrams, aren't I? You're welcome for those.
Thank you.
He picks 2 and 3/5 kilograms less strawberries in the morning than in the afternoon. If Jack picks 5 and 3/4 kilograms in the morning, how many kilograms of strawberries does he pick in the afternoon? Okay, so which one did he pick more, morning or afternoon?
Afternoon.
Afternoon. So my second tape diagram is going to be longer, isn't it? Okay. And did I put a dotted line on yours?
Yes.
Okay, the dotted line needs to be equal to that first tape diagram. So this is morning, this is afternoon. We'll get those on there. Morning, afternoon, just to keep yourself straight, okay? And how much did he pick in the morning?
5 and 3.
5 3/4 kilograms. Okay? And then the afternoon he picks more, doesn't he? So 2 3/5 more. Okay, now this problem is pretty simple when you look at it, because we have to figure out the total of the afternoon. Okay, that's what we have to figure out. How am I going to, are your eyes up here?
Yes.
How in the world am I going to figure out this?
Subtraction.
That's what I thought to start with too.
No, it's the same thing as
It
morning.
is.
Yeah, I knew it.
You knew it?
Yep.
Because I made them the same size. Yeah. So now how will I figure out my question mark? Add.
Addition.
Okay, so we're going to do addition. 5 3/4 plus 2 3/5. Okay, why don't you try this one? The whole thing by yourself. Look up when you're done. Don't look up until you're done. Okay. And the kind of day I'm having, you might not want to look at mine anyway. I've been messing up all day.
Maybe you need a nap.
I don't know. Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for not looking up until you're finished. When you do this on the video this afternoon during Math MTSS, go ahead and pause it while you're doing the problem. That will keep you from copying, okay? It's not going to do you any good if you just copy down the problem, is it? No. Okay, so what can my sentence say? Emiliano, I need to go back and look at the question. Here's the question. So answer that question.
Jack did a set times 20
Kilograms.
in the afternoon.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put strawberries. Okay, now there's a few things I want to underline in this sentence, because remember how I told you we'll have to come back to this problem later? So I want to underline, of course, the answer, strawberries, and the word afternoon. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. Make sure you get those underlined. Okay. It says, Jack also picks tomatoes from his garden. He picked 4 4/10 kilograms, but 2.5 kilograms were rotten and had to be thrown away. How many kilograms of tomatoes were not rotten? Write an equation that shows how you reached your answer. So do I have just one tape diagram on there? Okay. And I'm guessing it's divided in between rotten
Yeah.
Rotten
and not rotten?
yeah.
Okay.
Touch it one more time. Not
It's
right.
fine. Okay. And do I have a total amount of tomatoes he picked?
Yes.
What is it?
4
4 4/10. And then how many were rotten?
2.5.
2.5. How do I say that though? 2.5. What's another way to say it?
2.10.
2 and 5. 2 and 5/10. Wouldn't you rather write 2 and 5/10 down so we don't have to find a common denominator?
Yeah.
It's your choice. So the question mark is here. How many were not rotten? Euridia, what do you think I need to do here? Add or subtract. Okay, good. So make sure you've got your total in the front. 4 and 4/10 minus 2 and 5/10 equals, I don't think we're going to need very many equal signs. Okay, so on the first one, I'm going to change how we do it. Watch this. I notice that my first fraction is smaller. Okay? So I've got to write it a little differently. So I'm going to go ahead and do 4 minus 2. So 2 and 4/10 minus 5/10. Why am I writing it differently? Because my first fraction is smaller. So now I have to decompose 2 and 4/10. Who remembers how to do that? Jair?
Oh, you put 1 and then 10/10 and 4/10.
Okay. So now what I'll have is 1 plus, how many tenths is this? 14 tenths minus 5 tenths. Why do you think I put those parentheses there?
Because you need to do first.
I need to do that first, and I'm going to add 1 to my answer. Okay, so what's 14 minus 5?
9.
So 1 and 9/10. 9/10. Okay, tell me what my, Abdiel, tell me what my sentence needs to be.
So
Here's the question.
you put not 1 and 9/10. Oh no.
Maybe start with his name.
Oh, Jack had 1 and 9/10
Good.
kilograms of rotten potatoes.
Of not rotten,
Not rotten.
kilograms of,
Um,
I don't know that I want to put not rotten. How about if I put,
Unrotten.
or how about if I put
Non-rotten.
tomatoes that were not rotten. Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Okay. Now this is the tricky one. says, after throwing away the rotten tomatoes, did Jack get more kilograms of strawberries or tomatoes? How many more kilograms? So we've got 2 questions that we've got to answer. We'll try and answer them with one sentence, okay? All right. So explain to me what I'm doing here. Someone. Because I gave you 2 tape diagrams, didn't I?
You have to put 119 on one of them.
On top of the.
Okay, so let's start with, which one did he pick more of, strawberries or tomatoes?
Strawberry.
Okay, so let's make that tape diagram longer. Is that what I did?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll make that one longer. And then make the
It's shorter.
tomatoes shorter. Okay.
And like the lines.
Okay, so do we have a total for the strawberries?
Yes.
Sort of.
Yeah.
This is pretty hard. This is a trick part of the question, so pay attention, okay? This is what I messed up on in block 1. So do I have a total of the strawberries?
Yes, 8.
Not really.
Afternoon.
No, that's
Right. So we have to add what to this?
morning.
The morning, okay? So that's what Mrs. Lewis missed. Sorry, block 1. So on this tape diagram, I need morning and afternoon, don't I? In fact, do I have enough room to do that? Probably. 5 3/4. And how much in the afternoon? 8 7/20. So guess what, boys and girls? This is going to be a 2-step problem. Go ahead and draw a line there. And do we have a total of tomatoes?
Yes, 1 and 9. No.
1 9/10. I'm going to put that down here because I don't have enough room. So this is strawberries. This is tomatoes. My question mark goes where?
Like right on the line.
In the block.
The dotted line.
Very good. Okay, so we already know we had more strawberries than tomatoes. So we've answered the first question by just drawing our tape diagrams. Okay? The first question mark we need to figure out is at the top of the strawberries. That way we can subtract to find how much more. Okay? So when I have a question mark on the top, what does that mean I do, Emiliano? Add or subtract? Add. So 5 3/4 plus 8 7/20. Five plus 8?
13.
Josue, what do you think the common denominator should be? You're right. Does 4 divide into 20?
Yes.
Yeah, so same strategy again. So did you get 15 plus 7?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what to do now, Cheney.
So, you do 20 20ths, 13 plus 20 20ths plus 2 20ths, and equals 14 and 2
14 and 2 20ths. Cheney, do you think I'm done?
No.
I mean, I'm not even done with this problem. Who knows why?
Because that's because you have.
We have to subtract it by the whole.
What do you think?
Because you have to do another problem.
I do have to do another problem, but this is not the answer.
You need to simplify it.
I need to simplify it. Good job, Lexi. So how will I simplify 14? I'm going to have to do it over here because I'm out of room. And 2/20ths.
7 divided by 2.
Divided by 2. So it's going to be 14 and 1/10. That works out very well for the second problem we need to do. Look at the denominator on the second.
Oh.
Okay, so here's what I have. I'm going to erase this equal sign because now I know that my total amount of strawberries picked was 14 and 1/10. Should you probably do that?
Yes.
Okay. Now my question says, how many more strawberries than tomatoes were picked? When it says how many more, what do I do? Oh my goodness. When it says how many more, you're finding the difference. So 14 and 1/10 minus 1 and 9/10 equals. Problem here is, look at your first fraction. It's smaller. So I have to decompose. So I'm going to rewrite this as 13 and 1/10 minus 9/10. And we'll fix that first fraction, won't we? Then I want you to go ahead and write 13 and 1/10. Decompose it into 3 parts. $12 plus 1 whole plus 1/10. So Cadence, I'm going to write 12 plus here, aren't I?
Yes.
What do I need for my fractions that I'm subtracting? I have to add these two together. So 11/10 minus 9/10. What's 11 minus 9? 2/10. So 12 and 2/10. Am I done?
No.
No, why?
Because you have to add
No. George V, what do you think I need to do to 2/10? It's not in lowest terms. So Jair, what I need to do?
simplify.
What are you going to divide it by?
2.
Okay. So I have 12. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is
5.
So 12 and 1/5 kilograms. Okay, so now a sentence.
Oh, I can't do that.
George V, you help me with the sentence. So Jack picked more strawberries than tomatoes, right? All we have to do is stick in how much more in that sentence. So Jack picked how much more? 12 and 1/5 kilograms more strawberries than what? Good.